I'm here with Josh Townsend, who's the Director of Sales and Marketing at Zeffer Cider. And Josh has been sharing his story with a group of exporters at our Excelerate Global Half Day Seminar. Thanks, Josh, for joining us. So why don't you tell us a little bit about Zeffer Cider and why you decided to embark on the export journey?
Sure. Well, Zeffer's a craft cidery based in New Zealand, New Zealand's leading craft cider producer. Been operating since 2009. Started very small, your classic farmers market brand. And then we've been exporting for about the last 7 years into various markets. We collected sort of 10 markets, which was looking great, but without any real focus.
Yeah.
And then so last year we made a strategic call to really focus on exporting and become an export company.
Yeah.
And to do that, sort of changed our strategy and really drove a lot of discipline into honing in on which markets we're going to work.
You talked a little bit in your presentation about governance and getting the right support around you. How did you go about that process?
Yeah, we'd had a board running for a while, but essentially a non-functioning board, just a shareholder group. As part of our change in strategy, we appointed a chair and a new lineup of directors. That was word of mouth to appoint our chairman, Mike Brown, and also he was a perfect fit with his background in export sales and marketing experience from a winery. He was a perfect fit to sort of lead our group. I think we probably underestimated the value that good governance would provide. Our sort of unknowing opinion of it was that it was a lot of recording notes and not too much else, and we probably underestimated how much value there is in that we meet 8 weekly and having a structured approach with board papers, with reports, and then key decisions to be debated properly rather than just best guess.
And so what have been the biggest challenges that you've had to overcome at this early stage in your export journey?
Probably time and resource are the two majors. So we're a really small team, a small busy team like many New Zealand businesses, and cash is always scarce. So as part of that, our approach was to really focus in on one market, which was China, and give that. Bring some capital on board so we were better resourced to execute that plan. But as you do that, you realise that it only gets busier. New Zealand's still a really important market for us. So I think probably the biggest learning from the export side is how much attention and time it takes, and just being able to react at all hours of the day to the various requests of a Northern Hemisphere market.
You're amazing, Josh, because you, as you say, you're a small team, small business, on a big growth trajectory. That's your big, hairy, audacious goal. Big plans for growth. But you're very generous with your time in terms of giving back. And you joined us on the road show up to Whangarei to share your story. Why are you so passionate about giving back and sharing your story with early stage exporters?
I think the biggest benefit for me is who you meet during these talks, and I've attended a lot of these seminars myself over the years, and as an attendee you meet great businesses, and I think it's a networking around it. And I've always had the philosophy that you've got to put yourself out there if you want to succeed, and be willing to give back and meet people and network. And I think largely what we do is create networks and channels and links with clever people, and that's a big part of how we grow and how we execute our plan. So this is a perfect forum to do that and then catch up with people afterwards.
Great. Thanks so much, Josh.
No worries.